Our scripture text for this day and this week as we focus on love in our Advent season is from Luke chapter 1, Mary's Magnificat. The theologian Cornel West once said that justice is what love looks like in public. And if that is so, then these words sung by Mary might rightly be called a kind of love song in our scripture. Like many mothers, Mary sang to her child, and she started singing even before his birth. When he was growing and he was stretching in her womb, it was to the tones and to the sounds of this song in Luke 1 called the Magnificat, from that opening line, "My soul magnifies the Lord." Now, this was no lullaby. Dietrich Bonhoeffer describes the Magnificat this way: it is at once the most passionate, the wildest, one might even say the most revolutionary Advent hymn that has ever been sung. This is a song about the reversal of power, about the renewal of the world that is anticipated in the coming of Jesus. These themes were the kind of thing that sent Herod into that murderous frenzy as he searched for this one that was born to Mary. The notes of this song frustrated authorities throughout the course of Jesus' life. So agitating is the message of Mary's love song that there were places in the world where, within even the last couple of decades, the public reading of the Magnificat was forbidden as subversive activity. So threatening are the implications that when the great reformer Martin Luther and his followers were translating the Bible into German, they made the decision to leave the Magnificat in Latin rather than translating it into the language that was common and accessible to all people. This is not what we would normally expect from a love song. And it's not the warmth and reassurance that we often seek from our seasonal carols. But then, if we're going to believe in the love of God that comes near to us in such a profound way in the birth of Jesus, then we should ask ourselves if we are prepared to sing along with Mary. Jesus was. The song that he hears from his mother, it becomes his own song. The night he is born, Mary is joined by a multitude of heavenly hosts, and they pick up the theme with a song of peace and goodwill to all that pierces through the night. As he grows, Jesus follows this kind of message all the way to the Jordan River, where he connects his life to the radical prophet John, not at the center of power, but out in the wilderness. And he wades into the water there, and he rises up from his baptism, and traces of this song of his mother can be heard parting the sky and reminding him who he is and who we all are, beloved children of God. And it's the theme that he continues to follow. You can hear the echo of his mother's song as he in his own ministry proclaims release for all those captives, speaks in his own voice about that, and then restores sight to the blind as he goes to tables to invite the poor, the crippled, the lame, and the blind. And even on that last night of his life, as he prays in the garden of self-doubt, I imagine that somehow that song stirs in him. "Not my will, but yours be done," he says. Which sounds a lot like something that you might hear from someone who had heard of how their mother had once said to God, "Let it be with me according to your word." In his book, The Christ of the Celts, the author J. Philip Newell suggests that music, song, is a metaphor for God's created intent for this world. All that we know began with a sound, a note, a song from God, Newell writes. Now, this world and its injustice can cause that song to fade, but Jesus came to sing the song among us and to help us join and sing it ourselves. And if someone were to ask Jesus where he learned it, well, I imagine he could have said, "Well, my mother taught me." In fact, my mother was singing like this even before I was born. And may we hear it, and may we all sing along this Advent.